let's get into the final segment. And I need to say this once again every single time I do this. Every single time we do this segment, it is called Is This Stupid? This is a segment where we bring in either my personal take, a take that I've thought of that I don't believe in, or a take that I've seen out on the internet or on TikTok or in other YouTube videos and stuff like that, or heard on the radio about the Baltimore Ravens, and we analyze the take, okay? We do not say, I mean, we may say, oh yeah, we 100% agree with this, but a lot of times it's let's analyze this take. Me saying the take doesn't mean I believe it every time. I will say if I do believe it, and we will just talk about it. And I will give the take, then I will give the reasonings behind the take, and then we will analyze it. So please let us know if you guys agree, disagree, and stuff like that. And if you have any is this stupid type takes, let us know. Send them to us. You know, we have an email that you guys can send it to. We got this one on Twitter, so shout out to, I got to pull up the Twitter, the tweet. Shout out to JL. His full ad is JL_5899. He asked if we could talk about it. And so we will absolutely talk about it. So if you guys have stuff you want us to talk about, we'll talk about it. I'm sorry for the very long intro. You guys can normally skip these at the intro, but so many people get mad, you know, whenever we do these because they just read the title. It's like, no, the title also says Is This Stupid? That's the segment. Have to give the background explanation, but let's talk about it. Here's the take. In 2021 regular season stats, I'm reading the tweet right here. Lamar Jackson led the NFL in quarterbacks for being the leading rusher. He did this in 9 out of the 11 full games that he played in as the team's leading rusher for the Baltimore Ravens. Number 2 was Jalen Hurts. He did it 6 out of 15 games. Number 3 was Josh Allen, who did it 6 out of 17 games. Is it fair to say that Lamar Jackson was truly playing QB1 and RB1 this past year? He also says pay the man. So I think the biggest thing to analyze right here is Lamar Jackson not only the Ravens quarterback 1, because he's obviously Ravens quarterback 1, but is he also running back 1? And I'm going to take it a step further. Next year, we have JK, we have Gus. Is Lamar still RB1? He's led the Ravens in rushing, you know, when he's played the last 3 years. You know, when he won his MVP, yes, Mark Ingram rushed for 1,000 yards, but Lamar rushed for more. Last year, or 2 years ago, Lamar's full season, he rushed for over 1,000 yards. JK and Gus both rushed for over 700. But Lamar's been the leading rusher. Is he? I hate the stigma of Lamar's a running back, and it's such an insult. So I'm going to say, is he rusher number 1, where he's like a rusher? I'm not going to call him a running back, but rusher number 1, in addition to being quarterback 1. Is this a stupid take, Joshua?
I think to keep on calling him a running back is the most ridiculous statement ever be heard. People respected, you know, Michael Vick when he did what he did. People respected Dante Culpepper when he did what he did. People respected Randall Cunningham when he did what he did. Heck, of course we wasn't there, but people respected Doug Williams, even Donovan McNabb, that didn't have that type of, you know, elusive ability. He was respected. Steve McNabb, respected. So, you know, to keep calling this young man a running back number 1. Matter of fact, I'll even take it a step further. Steve Young, that did not have the best of arms, was also an elusive quarterback. Let's not forget that. So I know I called a lot of, you know, the same type of style of quarterback. So let's put a little bit of Dibby in it. And
Josh Allen too.
Tim Tebow.
Yeah.
Cam Newton. You know, the list can keep on going on. But, you know, to keep on, you know, those guys, they were quarterbacks. You know, they were respected as quarterbacks. But now, you know, you get this young man out of University of Louisville that, you know, that doesn't have the best of accuracy, that doesn't have the strongest of arms. Oh, no, he's a running back. You know, why does he have to be listed as a running back? Just because he runs the ball? Just because we have an offense design, you know, for him to create the RPOs? No, he is a dual threat quarterback. So to keep on saying he's running back number 1, you know, that's offensive. You know, to me, to him, hell, the family, shucks, even his daughter. Stop disrespecting that man's. Stop disrespecting that little girl's daddy like that. Put some respect on his name, because at the end of the day, when he was at University of Louisville, he had more passing yards than rushing yards. Even in the NFL, when he won MVP in 2019, he had more passing yards than rushing yards. When he won the Heisman, another sense, more passing yards and rushing yards. Literally, McConnell and myself, we watched the HBCU Legacy Bowl. We saw Bryce Witt out of Chowan, Caucasian male, had almost identically the same numbers. So, but he's still going to be labeled as a QB1. Not trying to play the race card, not trying to do nothing like that. But at the end of the day, you can tell when the disrespect is constantly given. And, because he's a dual threat quarterback, because he's a generational talent, yes, pay the man. But don't continue labeling him as a running back one. He has one of the I'm gonna go out there and say it, not because I'm a Ravens fan, but I feel like, when they come back, it's gonna be Lamar Jackson, JK, Gus Edwards, all in the running for comeback player of the year. So I feel like they are going to have one of the strongest seasons, especially Gus Edwards. Gus Edwards, is a guy that loves to prove it. J.K. Dobbins, he was very disappointed of how things went down. And we all know what type of person Lamar Jackson is. Lamar Jackson, he was put in a rough situation this past year, but he did what he had to do. If you're a quarterback, do you want to still stay in the pocket when my offensive lineman is getting pushed back to where I am? No. If I see open field, I'm gonna go for it. Fly like the wind. So, to keep on saying, oh, he's the running back number one, or he's the best runner on the team, I feel like that's a ridiculous take. If you want to say yes, he's one of the best dual quarterbacks in the league, by all means, I respect that. He should be getting paid for being a dual quarterback, but not no running back one. No, I don't agree with that.
Yeah, I think that's a very fair take on it, because I think everybody that watches football can recognize that Lamar Jackson, when he has the ball in his hands, he is not just the most electrifying player in the NFL. He is one of the most electrifying players ever. When Lamar Jackson was in college, he was compared to the likes of Barry Sanders and Gale Sayers, two of the most elusive, greatest runners of the football of all time. Now, when we talk about it like that, that's still putting this emphasis on his running style, because we all know Lamar Jackson is great, is truly sensational because he's a great runner. But he's not just a runner. That's the idea that I think, Joshua, you are getting behind. It's like, yes, we know he's great at it, but why is that always the focus? It always seems to take away from his ability to pass the ball. Like, nobody watches the Colts game where he throws for over 400 yards, I can't remember if it was 50 pass attempts or 40 pass attempts, but it was like the highest completion percentage on over 40 pass attempts in NFL history. Played like 85% of his passes or something ridiculous like that. Mm-hmm. Those statistics are taken away because everyone looks at it like, oh, he's running the ball, which, yes, we all know he can run the ball. But he's not labeled, like you talked about, Josh. He's not labeled as a dual threat. He's labeled as a running quarterback, which is very different than saying dual threat. Because when they talk about Kyler Murray's a dual threat. When they talk about Josh Allen, he's a dual threat. Patrick Mahomes is a dual threat. Justin Herbert, dual threat. Lamar Jackson is a running quarterback, which is just once again taking Lamar Jackson's skill set. And I understand this ideology where it's like, oh, he's better at running than he is throwing, which, yes, is true. However, it puts it in it leaves a sour taste. While it may be coming from a place of trying to show praise for his running ability, in the end, it's still, the intent is different than the outcome, but the outcome is still a negative in terms of when you're looking at it. Like, it's almost like a backhanded compliment, right there, where it's like, yeah, man, you look way better than normal today. And it's like, well, thank you, but also shut up. I don't want to hear that, man. So it's like Lamar Jackson, yeah, he's great at running the football. However, he's a great quarterback. Like, call him dual threat, call him a quarterback. But this idea, it would be different if all the running quarterbacks or dual threat quarterbacks were called running quarterbacks. but they're not. It's just Lamar and a little bit of Jalen Hurts. But even Jalen Hurts, I see dual threat more than I see running quarterback. Lamar is just like, oh, yeah, is he the best running quarterback of all time? And then everyone else is like, oh, great dual threat. It's like, why is like Vic wasn't a running quarterback. Vic was a dual threat. Culpepper was a dual threat. Steve Young, dual threat. Steve McNair, dual threat. Lamar is like the only running quarterback in NFL history, it seems. And it's kind of ridiculous. And so I while I understand the idea that this take is coming from, and the idea that Lamar Jackson's the best runner of the football on the team, saying he's runner one or RB1 and stuff like that, it may be in a sign of praise. However, it still leaves a sour taste. And I feel like it's taking away from his greatness at QB1 for the Ravens. And I still agree with the take. Pay the man. Absolutely. Pay the man. And I don't think you're trying to disrespect Lamar Jackson in any way, JL. In no way, shape, or form am I thinking that you're trying to do that. But I think as a whole, we need to be calling Lamar Jackson either a quarterback or a dual threat quarterback. Take away this running quarterback nickname that he has that no one else seems to have. Like, it's like in the NBA where it's like if they called Steph Curry like a people say Steph Curry's a 3-point shooter. And it's like, yes, Steph Curry's the greatest 3-point shooter of all time. We all know this. Steph Curry does more than shoot the ball. He's a great passer. He's a great dribbler. He's a great, at driving. He's great at a lot of things. But when you just say 3-point shooter, it takes away from everything else that he does that's great, even though we all know he's the greatest ever. It takes away from everything else that he does, even though it's coming from a sign of praise. So that's kind of my take on it, Joshua. I think you're agreeing with me. I think we're, in the same boat. Even though it comes from a spot of praise, it's still taken away from all the other things that he does great.
Yeah, I'm glad that you brought up the basketball analogy. I was definitely about to say the same thing about, Jordan or Kobe Bryant. What do you all expect once those are primary ball handlers? As a QB, you're the primary ball handler. So at the end of the day, you're the one making you're the one making the decisions of what happens next, whether you're going to give the ball off to your running back or whether you're going to pass it to Mark Andrews or maybe even throw it deep to Hollywood Brown, hoping to see that next in this upcoming year, So, I mean, it's just like McConnell said, JL, we're not trying to attack you or nothing like that. We're just pretty much trying to educate you, Let's not keep on calling our quarterback, if you're a Ravens fan or not. Let's stop calling him RB1. Let's call him a dual threat quarterback because that's what he is. And half the quarterbacks in this league that still has wheels, hell, I even saw Aaron Rodgers, still evade the defense and still make things happen. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a great return. I think it's a great return to Is This Stupid? We like to have a lot of fun discussions. We've talked about a lot of great things. I think it's a great segment. Hopefully you guys like it. Hopefully you guys let us know other Is This Stupid takes. But thank you, everybody, for listening to the podcast, watching the different segments. If you didn't know and you're just watching this on YouTube, the full this is a 4-segment episode, is going to be up when the first episodes drop. That's when the entire podcast episodes drop. So if you see like the first part, go check out the Spotify, go check out the Apple Podcast. And if you want to get a sneak peek as to what will come in the next couple days on the YouTube channel, absolutely go for it. If you just want to watch them on YouTube, that's totally fine. Totally respect that. It's all good. But thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you, everybody, for listening. And we'll see all of you again next time.